I was 12 and a half years old, my mama put $10 in my hand, told me to look after myself.
How are you, Robin?
I'm great. I'm Milling About with Jai Courtney, and he is starring in Catching Dust. Hello.
Robin, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Good. So the last time you were on my show was, I think, about 4 years ago for Stateless.
Oh, wow. Yeah, of course.
And I just love the projects that you choose. They're always so interesting. So tell me what attracted you to this one.
Well, thank you for saying that. It doesn't always feel that way. It doesn't always feel that way. Sometimes you find yourself just taking a gig, but no, I do try to select stuff that, really speaks to me on some level. And this was no exception. Stuart wrote such a beautiful, complex script. And I think for me, the main attraction was being able to portray a man on screen that had a lot of depth and a lot of pain, who was very sort of tender on one level, but totally unable to access his vulnerability. And he kind of wears masks, and I think just as an actor looking at something like that, where there are certain truths and then there's also kind of deception going on, it's just like fodder for a good fun kind of playtime at work. So yeah, I think it was really that relationship and the beautiful world that he'd established. It was unlike anything I'd ever read, and it is a kind of love story, to some extent, not necessarily in the traditional sense, but we're left asking so many questions throughout the film, and some of them get answered, some don't. But yeah, I think just the chance to play in the space and try and do something with a character that I found really really intriguing.
First of all, what was it like shooting in that environment? And could you ever live off the grid like that?
I definitely couldn't live off the grid like that. I
What would you
rely on
miss
my
most?
my creature comforts far too much. What would I miss most? I mean, I think access to entertainment. Certainly, I mean, it's somewhat of a period piece, so I have to cast my mind back and forget what life was like before the internet. But they talk at one point about not even having enough money together to get a TV, and I think I'd definitely be leaning on things like that. I need my music out there. He doesn't even have a guitar in that little cabin, which would be an essential for me. So I have notes for Clyde and the way he needs to live. But yeah, look, I mean, going off grid's fun for a short period of time. Making a complete lifestyle of it is something that's for people that are a little a cut from different cloth to myself. But certainly, experiencing that world for some weeks, a couple of months while we shot the film was a lot of fun, and that location was incredible. We really didn't have to
Gorgeous.
suspend our kind of disbelief in any way. So often you shoot films and you're looking this way and you get an image of what it is in the world you're in, and then you're over here and there's a big city behind you. But we actually shot Big Bend, Texas in
Oh
we
yeah.
shot, we shot well well that's where it's set, but we shot in the Canary Islands in Spain, which sounds like a very absurd kind of step to the left, but it worked because we had this incredible kind of Martian crater that was so arid and so far from town, that it created this beautiful isolated feeling. And I think Aurelian Mara, our cinematographer, our DP, his ability to capture that and make us feel as isolated as Gina would all the way out there, was really a character in itself. And he had such a wonderful language with the camera and those landscapes and the light, that it just elevated what we were able to do as well. So I'm really grateful for their commitment to shoot it like they did in a place as amazing as this.
This might seem silly, but did you want to stay in that trailer at all just to, know what it felt like?
I thought about it. Yeah, there was early on. I thought that I would do that. In sort of soft preparation for the thing. And Stu and I had been talking for actually a couple of years by the time it got up and running, And I was like, I'm just gonna live out there. I'm just gonna stay out there in that trailer and I'm just gonna do it. It's gonna be great. And then, you know, you get on set and you're like, no, I think I'm gonna have a shower at the hotel and then come back to work tomorrow.
I'm
Yeah.
with you there.
Yeah, I don't need it, I don't think. You know, it might have been fun for a night or two, but no, we spent enough hours in that thing that by the end of every day it was definitely time to get back to the lobby bar and have a beer.
Absolutely. And I have a feeling there were spiders around. I don't know why.
There's all kinds of things. I mean, that thing was, you imagine a film crew stuffed into that trailer in the middle of the heat. You know, there were a few long days shooting in very tight spaces, but it all helps create the mood. And I think anything that pulls you closer to the reality of what you're portraying on screen, for me, when shooting is helpful. It's we're very privileged to get to do what we love, and you know, I don't mind a bit of discomfort when it comes to that. It just helps put you in that world and you feed off it.
Yeah, I think your beard had a life of its own, Jai.
Oh, there were birds nesting in that thing. I mean, you talk about spiders, they were probably living on my chin. But yeah, I was very excited to let that go. I actually have Stuart, our director, he has my beard in a jar that
No.
I shaved off and I left it in his apartment in London. He wasn't there, and I had stayed there on my way away. You know, when I left Spain, I stayed in his apartment in London for a couple of nights on my way back to the US, and as a prank, I thought it'd be very funny to shave my beard off, collect it, and jar it for him. So the beard lives on somewhere.
Does he still have it?
I hope so. I hope he
That's
does.
hysterical.
Yeah.
What about your accent? That was also very specific as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we worked hard to create something authentic. I uh, I work with a dialect coach most frequently, Liz Himmelstein, who I love very much, and I've known her for many years. And we didn't have a lot of sessions, but there was time to try and develop something that felt really organic. And I usually come in with a loosish idea about, you know, where you want to pitch things, but hoping that you can hit, you know, at least some sense of accuracy and maintain that for the duration of the film. And for me personally, I like to stay in accent when I work. I just find it muscularly less strenuous by the time you're up and running. It's sort of easy to just live in it for the day. Um, so that's what I did. And you know, I mean, I love playing with regional stuff. When you get to do something unique like that, it's always a lot of fun and just helps you drift away from yourself, which is something that I've come to really appreciate. Believe me, there's an ease. If I go back to Australia and work on film or TV and I get to shed all of that and just talk the way I talk, it's like running around with your clothes off. You know, it feels so freeing and liberating, but there's also a satisfaction in disappearing entirely into something else. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like that image. I also feel like you lowered your voice, like the whole tone of your voice was deep. Was it like down here?
Yeah, I found something with him that just felt like where it lived, and I'm sure I gave the audio team, you know, a couple of headaches. We were shooting in a super windy location, but I was relying on a kind of a real like chest resonance, and the accent lent itself to that. You know, I don't know. I sunk into it. I was it just sort of felt authentic for him and where it was pitched. And I'm not someone that does like a ton of homework in finding the character. I trust that it sort of will wind itself up into place in a way by the time we get going. Um, but I think, yeah, that something like that just happens organically. You know, as I was finding Clyde, that's where his voice lived, and you know, that's what I committed to, I suppose.
Well, I really, really love the film, and I was like hoping you were going to come on. Everyone was saying he only has 2 minutes for time. He's booked, solid.
Appreciate it so much.
Yeah, it's good to see you. What do you have next?
I've got a Netflix period Western coming out in January, and there's what else is in the can? Geez, I've got an Aussie film that's about to drop. I'm not sure we'll see it in this part of the world or not. Same goes with this down there. I was so excited to tell all my Aussie mates about Catching Ducks, and then everyone's like, "Where can we see it?" And I'm like, oh, "Bloody indie film and their distribution deals these days. You know how it goes." So hopefully this will reach those shores soon enough, and my work from there continues to find its way around the world as well. But there's always plenty going on.
Cool. Well, come back on. Don't wait another 4 years, okay?
I won't. Thank you so much.
All right. Take good care.
Cheers, Robin. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Always news. Always refreshing. Always candid. Always milling about. Robin Milling delivers what celebrities are saying to you.